All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Magical Girl story. So today I'm gonna be actually working on some expressions to see if I want to do whatever I want to do with it. Because I have to do it anyway. So why not today? So we're already having an idea of what we want. Now I actually wanted to get this thing a little bit more better. I think I wanted to go like this, I believe. That would work, but it's not fully properly, but uh yes, I need to get this thing done like how I want to do it with it. All right, so I will open this one because this one actually has everything that I want. Hopefully I can get what I need to get to where I want to be. So we have this. Now we need to see if we want to go for this route, or do we want to even lower down the visual a little bit and go for this amount of size? Because both ways can actually be useful pretty well. Because here you have the line work a little bit more thicker. This is 255 by, yeah, so 500 by 500. That is doable-ish. So we're gonna be going, I think, should we go for a tiny drawing? No, we can actually go for 200 by 200 or 100 by 100. But I don't know which one I then want to go for. 500 maybe then? Well, let's go. Let's go first draw it tiny and then see if I can actually get it done big. So 1266 by 256. Let's just create this first. So now we have a flat drawing for it. Now we have this, the drawing that we have. We can actually copy this, I believe. And then just copy it a little bit so we actually have it. Can I just copy it and then paste it into the non-save file? I think we can, right? Damn, that is big. That went pretty well. So now we have like a idea of what we want to go for. Now we need to get this thing a little bit more better drawn in. So with this, I can actually see where I want to be with this. So we have that facial expression, but I actually wanted to go for something new. So we're gonna open this, then we're gonna open the images, I think. Yeah, the images, and then go for the facial expressions that I'm looking for. Oh, it's gotta be difficult, but alright. Where are they? There they are. So let's see. This was actually the one that I went for. As you can see, it's not great, but I can go for that. But I actually wanted to go for a bit more of a that is too much. Let's go for this actually. I have never done this, so it will probably look bad, but it should work. So I'm gonna copy this and use that as a reference sheet as well. So paste. There you go. Now we need to select this and then of course transform it horizontally so we actually have it like that. So it needs to have a downwards spiral on the face. Sure. Then we need to look at that. We're gonna need to use this, I think, because we cannot use the rest, right? Can we use this? I think we can, but that means I need to make sure that I have that. Yeah. So we're gonna be using this then as a reference sheet upon that. Yeah, that should work. So let's just get this first started a little bit more better. So let's first get the line thickness up and running. With that, I need this one to look for what I need. No. And paste it. Use this as a reference sheet upon how big everything needs to be. Like the neck thickness. So that needs to be going like this, then this needs to be going right here. That means I can then move this one down like that. This one needs to actually be on top of this. So I actually can see where we add this in. So that is how that goes. And I see that I made a mistake in the face itself. So if we want to change if we want to change that, I need to change this as well. Let's do that then. Let's see if I can get this thing up and running properly. So what do we need? Do we need 8 for the line work? Let's see. Is 8 the line work drawing line length? No. It's actually 5, I believe, right? Because 8 is too thick, right? 8 is too thick. Yes, 8 is too thick. So it is not, it is 5. Good enough. So it is 5 instead. Yes, it is 5. Good. Good. Alright, first things first. We need to first get that face up and running. So we need to get this thing to be split off, I think. And we need to change this a bit up because we have that. That means that we need to get this to be bigger in size, right? All right. Now we're going to deselect and let's see if we can get this right. So we now need to get this to be here. So now we're going to go here. Now we're going to just use this as the face itself. So then this is actually good. So now we need to get well, if we have that, it means that we need to go it means that we have the eyes here and here, if I'm correct, and here and here. But it means that the ears are not correct. The ear needs to start here and then over there needs to be done, but that doesn't make any sense. So that means I need to get these things a little more higher. Like that. Then we're gonna put that there, which means that the ears is gonna be starting here and then ending right there. Now we actually have what we need. So now we have that. That means that we have the nose right here. And then the mouth right there. That means that we have... Oh, that means that we now need to go here, here, here. And then this needs to be a circle. Correct. Well, that is not a circle. That's good to know. Nope. But that needs to be a circle. Which means we are lacking something, I believe. It means that we have a circle here. It means that we need to shorten this down. This bit needs to be shortened. So we actually have a circle to work with. And now the circle actually works. Because the circle is there. And then that is also there. Alright, and now we have something to work with. Now we need to figure out how to get that into that size. Alright. Now we have this. We have also that. Now we can actually compare that back in there. No. Well, we can actually move this, but I want this to be there. So with that, I can actually look at where I want to have this to be at, because technically we can actually go for this then, right? Yeah. Okay, now let's see if we can get this right. So the circle's there, the circle dumps there. The circle needs to start here and drop down there. Because this needs to be there. Ah, okay. Now I see what I need to do here. So okay. Fucking hell. This is gonna be a long night. Yep. There's gonna be a lot of trial and errors. I hate it when that happens. Because if we look at this, we have that, which is that, but that is not the art style I'm looking for. So I need to figure out how to get the face from point A to point B without problematical issues. Okay. Like this, and then draw over it? Yeah, probably. So first things first, we need to make sure that we have this. And that is going to be the first bit of it. then go here, and then go here. All right, now we have the first bit. Now we need to get the eyes in here, and now we need to get an ear here. And we're gonna do a sketching part of it as well. Now I don't need to want to use this, but oh, and I need to use this instead. That is gonna be a pain. All right, what? Okay. That means that we have this instead. One there, one there, one there. Okay. So we have this, we have that, of course, again. And then, of course, that. Now I need to grab the eyes from the first one and put them in the right line work. All right, so with that said, we have technically, you know, so now we need to get point A and point B in here. That's something. Let's see. And that will work. Now we need to figure out how to... What if we now open the eyes instead? Because that is indeed also a thing that I want to know, like how the hell do I do that part? Because we already have that, but now we need to get the eyes in the correct position. So if we have the eyes, it means that we need to go for the eyes in this direction. So we have here, we have the eyes, and then we need to go for what again? Oh, this is gonna be painful, isn't it? Oh, casual as eyes. All right. Well, we can then use these eyes instead for it. So if we're gonna go for the eyes, it means we need to go for this. Yeah, and then, ooh. Let's see. So if we're gonna go for these eyes, that means that we need to go for that. That means we can then go for this, and then we have actually a talking face, which is good. Fuck. That's gonna be a pain in the ass to do, right? Yeah, because now we have that, we have that, we have that. We can go for this, and then can go here with that. So we need to now go here with that as well. No. Do that sketch is no longer valid because that needs to be here, which means I need to push this towards this location. So if we now go here, all right, now we're gonna move. Now we're gonna put these two into the merge mode. So now we have one face. Not the best face, but a face nonetheless. She's looking more annoyed than anything else, but it's an expression which we can then use to get. Oh, that's a very basic line work, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna be borrowing this instead. And then use that to create what I need for this one. All right. Now we have that. What we're now going to do is actually get this back in there. And now we need to figure out how to get that t-shirt up and running. So that means that we need to go for something like this. All right. Now I need to make sure that we have those line works, those locks better. Yep. There we go. Now we have those locks even better looked up. All right. Now I need to get this better. Fucking hell. Alright, now we need to figure out some more stuff, because now we actually have something to work with. We now need to get this design to be better. Mainly the hair design, I think I need to have a little bit more functional. So I think either shorting this out would fix that issue. Because if we don't shorten it out, it actually would look odd because it's looking to the left and not to the right. But that means that we need to fix this bit. Also the face is not fully working, but we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. So, I need to fix something, I need to look at something now. Alright. Just give me a second. It's gonna be a quick, it's gonna be a quick look around. Oh god, Jesus, that is horrible. There we go. That is wet hair, and that is not hair. Alright, so... Oh, that is gonna be a painful thing, isn't it? So I need to strike the hairs in such a way that it actually looks good. Alright, well, first things first, we're gonna be editing this bastard of a drawing. Because we have now the design that we need to now make sure that this design is a bit more better in proportions. So, first things first we're gonna do is actually fix up the face, because clearly this is not the best of faces to look at. And what is doing it? It's because it's too squared, I believe, right? Yeah, it's too squished. It's too squished. It needs to be a little more wider. There you go. Now we have that. Now it needs to also make sure that this hairstyle right here, the first bit of it all, this bit needs to be a little bit lower. Because that is feeling like it is actually way too, needs to be forward? Forward, right? Yeah, and then this bit right here is too open. Alright, cool. Now we have the main idea of it. Let's fix this now and make it look like a little bit more better looking. So now we have this, and then we're going to be fixing the torso bottom part as well, because holy shit, this is terrible. Alright, so I have an look at this. So we have this. So we have the line right here, we have the line right here, we have a 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 line right there. We want a line right here and one like that, and then up and down. Those are the lines. Now I want to create the hair. So if I want to create the hair, how do I do that? Right, I need to draw the locks. One lock, two locks, three locks, four. One lock. One lock. Two locks. Three locks. Four locks. And that is the locks. Alright, so how do I want to do this? Because I want to create here, I want to create volume. That is what I want to create, at least. Or at least a little bit of it. So I need to reshape this a little bit. So because if I have that, I can actually get this to be like that, and then all right. So if I cut it here and then go down. So if I cut it here and then go down, how does that look like? Not great. And what if I add What if I add it like this? No. Because this is the limit. This is the limit of the line. So if I wanted to make the limit of the line less limited, I can technically do that by making sure that we have it like this. But then that her line stroke dab will not work. So it's either... Fuck. That's gonna be difficult. Ah! Ah! Alright. Hold up. Alright, now we have one bit already. Now I need to get this bit fixed. Alright, now I need to figure out how to do this bit. Because this is clearly not gonna happen. How did I with that one? Hold up. How did I do it with that one? I choose Lineworks and then broke it up a bit, right? Yeah, I did broke it up a bit. But it's frontal. That is not gonna help a bit at all. Alright. So, if I want to do this, I need to get this bit that I can actually do. So we're gonna go for that kind of approach. Cool. And then we can actually go here for that kind of approach. All right. All right, now we have that. Now we need to get this bit, which is that. All right, and now if we now get this one to be here and that one to be here, then we can actually get blah, but that does not create the volume that I need. Ah, damn it. Okay. Adding sharp turns to it won't solve it. So adding sharp turns to it won't solve it, that is the problem. It does make it look bland, but then again, could always be worse. Alright, so not too many times then using it too many times will actually cause it, right? Yeah. Alright, so I need to make sure that we have this bit. Now that looks better. And then this one is then gonna be like and that will work. Now we have that. Now we need to get this bit, the tail one. All right, so if I have the tail, now I need to figure out like how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it like this? Oh, that's gonna be horrible to do. That is gonna be such a pain to do, isn't it? Oh yeah, I forgot about that part of things getting complicated because of things like that. It means I can actually make it bigger if I do that. If I make it bigger, I can actually place it here. Without it, I can actually go that way. With it, I can actually make the ponytail here, but the ponytail is going to be the pain part. Alright, I will place it here just in case. Now we have that. Now let's add in the line work. There we go. Now we have the line work done. Now we can actually figure out the face part, and that should then be better looking. Alright, first things first, we need to get the face part done. So let's first figure out, like, if we have the face part, where does this lead us? Well, it leads us towards this direction, which we had already on the second part. Ew. Now we have that. Now the question is, like, if I want to go that way, if we have this as a face, where does this lead to? Because I need to have that. Widening it will not solve it. Shortening it will not lower it, and a chin won't help at all. So, and making it smaller won't work because of how much facial expression we need. That way, if we use this instead as a guiding, we can look at it and see that we actually do need that cheek. So this is actually the cheek. Because if we use this, it won't work. If we use that, it won't work either. So now we are here. All right. So this will then be technically our guideline. We could technically put a bit of scaling on this side, and then I mean literally put one more here, one more here. That would solve that hair issue, but we want that clip to be here, and that should also solve that. Oh wait, the other way around, I mean. So now we have that. We can now actually add it in the earpiece. The earpiece is gonna be here. And then of course, there we go. Now we have that sided. Now we need to just get this bit sided. So that is gonna be a lot of troubles. Alright, so now we have that one sided. So now we need to technically go here with these things. Alright. Alright, and then we're gonna go here and grab that one and grab this one. That way we actually can get ourselves to where we want to be with this. Alright. Now that we have the design almost proper, we now need to go to the face. And then after that we can all erase everything else and then just redraw it again, and then we have everything. So now we have the annoyed face, luckily, drawn in. And now we need to get this bit. So technically we want that nose to be here, because we want this effect there. All right. And then we want the eyes and the eyebrows in a different position. So there we go. now we actually have something to work with in the design. Nice. Oh, man, oh man, wow. Took a while, but it is done. Now we need to get this to be a little more like that. Line 1, line 2, eye in the middle, check. Nose bridge is as small as the eyes, check. Nose and cheekbones are correctly. Mouth is placed correctly. Mouth is not too big. Project. Hold up. Ah. That thing needs to be in the middle of it. Well, luckily we do have a way of doing that. So we need to have that thing in the middle of it all. So in the middle you go. Something like that. Alright, cool. Now we have a design. And now we have actually a decent design for it all. Boop. Boop. And that is the... Boop. No. New. And now we have the design again. And now we can look at it again. Now we can merge it because, well, you know, we need to merge it anyway. And now we can look at it again and then we can see where we need to put some fixing in. If you follow this line, it should be technically going like this instead. So that line needs to be a little bit longer, I assume. All up. Yes. So this line needs to be like that. All right. Yes. And then we have this one that can actually be just... No, that needs to be still a little bit chumpy. Yeah, and then we have actually everything correctly. Because if we do it like this, it has a way too sharp tone to it. Which means that the neck is incorrect. There we go. Finally got what I needed to look for. Alright, the neck is too short for the piece that we want to know. Proportions are too small, so we need to go and make that a little bit longer, like so. And that is how to solve that issue, right? Yes, now the issue is now it's lining up instead of that it is not lining up at all. Whew. All right, Linux gamers, bake the grind. Take it easy, Jay. Tell Dewey I said hi. All right, sure thing, Linux. He's working on a short story though. Good luck. Oh, short story, huh? Yeah, those things are also hard. But this is also difficult. I really am quite always like, oh, by the way, you need to draw expressions and people. Good luck. And I'm like, help. Mainly because it is quite a hard thing to do, and proportions are not my best buddies. I prefer to draw, you know, silly little things. But this does help a lot with improving upon the art style, and that is one of the most important parts of it all. Let's see. So we're going to be now casually drawing the line work. So first, we're going to draw the lines that we need to draw, the physical lines that need to be drawn. So no ears, no nothing, just the lines that we need to draw for the body. This way, we do have a way of doing things. All right. Do we want to put this there instead? We could. Technically, we should technically put that there because these are the shoulder parts. So shoulder parts, and then that is that part. But we could actually use it like this instead, and then have it like, then have the outer rings right there. Yes. So those lines are important. Now we're gonna draw the second bit of the line. So we're gonna be casually drawing the lines by one, so I don't make fucking mistakes again, and I can erase them if I want to. All right, so let's first draw the most easiest ones. And that is the clothing. And there we go. Then I'm gonna add in the detail for it. Now we're gonna be going forward with it. So let's see. Do I want it like that? Ah, spot a mistake here. This needs to be not sharpened. Otherwise it doesn't look like the thing that I want it to be looking like, which is a sweater. Now it looks like a sweater. Alright. Whew. Now we have the second bit done. Now we need to go to the next bit. So now we're gonna go towards the hair, and then we're gonna go to the eyes and the nose and thing. Alright. First the soft lines. Or well, the hard lines. One hard line down. There you go. Then we're gonna go here. Now we have done that. We can now focus on that ear. That is in the same hook as the eyes because it is the same size, therefore it does work. Alright, now we're gonna go here and grab that last bit. Alright. Now we're gonna go up. And then we're gonna go here. Oh wait, that means that I need to have this one. This one needs to be sharpened. But I won't, because it looks stupid. All right. Now we're gonna go doing the thick lines of this. Oh, there you go. That should solve that issue. Yep. That will definitely solve that issue. All right. So now I need to get that ponytail up and running. Now I need to go here. And that will give us the right call, right? Yeah, it does. All right, cool. Now we need to get that. Cool. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have that done. All right, now we have that. Now we need to get the lines done. There we go. All right, now we need to grab the eyes and the mouth and all those stuff. I hope I can learn to work as hard as you. Peace. Yeah, it is. Hard. I have been distracted for quite a while. I'm always trying to, of course, do the drawings in the always in an hour trying to do the drawings or doing the work that I want to do. But I have been distracted 2 weeks, no, 1 month at least. At least 1 month I was distracted. I was a little bit distracted on something that got me hooked, and I was like, all right, I want to finish this and then, move on, but no. Sometimes some video games are too fun to not quit playing, and that I realized I was like, playing video games for a little bit too long than it's supposed to be. Well, of course, it's normal to play video games long, but I mean like long, like a little bit too late, let's say the least. And now that I realize that, playing a video game around until 2 o'clock at night every day is not a very smart move. Let's say the least that. That is not a smart move, and I learned my lessons from it. Won't happen again. Trust me on that one. And yeah. I think also the game itself was a little bit too addicted for it. It had like a long runtime while not doing anything. So you were actually waiting for the game session to end, and then you were like, ah, right, I did this. How long did it took you? A whole hour somehow. So yeah, I had to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So yeah, I fixed that. I fixed also the amount of stuff that I want to do. So I made sure that once I do something, I don't overdo things, which does help a lot actually. Now I'm looking at it. But yeah, sometimes you need to cut your losses and be like, yeah, this is not a game for me, mainly because it takes too much time and effort. Is that worth it? No, that is not worth it for a clipper. I think if I put it like this instead, just get like this. And then that is better. That is way better, that one. But the problem is it is lying between it is looking at the, that means that the eyebrow is too long, right? Then it's the eyebrow too long. Yeah, the eyebrow is way too long. That is the issue. God damn it. Alright, let's fix that up. Because eyebrows need to be as long as the eyes. That's a too thick line, that's a too thick eyebrow. No. Without it actually would look better, I think, right? It does look better without it, I think. Because you don't see this, you don't see that, you don't see this. This one does need to be shown. Yeah, I think that this will work better. Or I need to figure out something like here that I can do. Alright, all up. Hmm. Difficulties. The main difficulty here is like figuring out how to get that spell in there without ruining this, because technically I can sketch this off and have that there. This needs to be technically a little bit shorter, I think, because of how the face looks like. Technically this needs to be, oh, I think I know what I did wrong, right? No, because I don't want that to be there. I could technically move that downwards, but that won't solve anything. Ah, God damn it. Perspectives and proportions. If I do that, it means that I don't have enough space for the next one. But it does give me what I want with the eyebrow. Because then the eyebrow doesn't look, it does still look exaggerated, way too expanded than it should be. That's the word I'm looking for. There. Now it's actually way better in proportion. And now I can actually place this belt right there. So that's what I want, but I need to put that on a different layer. So I think also I had that same problem when I played Part of Axel. Part of Axel 2 came out and I was like, alright, I will play this game. And then I was like, oh boy, that's a little bit too long for a game to play around with. And now, you know, thanks to the new patch notes, that actually did help me quit. So, congrats. But then again, it was a good game. I like it. Still like the game. I'm just waiting for it to be fully released. But yeah, I like to overplay games, especially things like Skyrim or RPGs. They rock so good. They rock so good. They take so long to get completed, but in the end, it is absolutely worth it to do so. All right, now I can get the mouthpiece. Now I have the mouthpiece done. And this means I am now actually almost done for it, because now I can actually just do the coloring of it and then it should be fine. I'm still thinking like, should I do it now or should I not do it? But then again, I see that the hour mark is over, so that is pretty good. I redesigned the drawing. I created the drawing in 265 bits by 265 bits, which is good. And yeah, it looks good. That means tomorrow I won't have time, then Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I will have time. Then Sunday I will be actually completing this. So I'm gonna be coloring it fully up, making it look good, and then we're gonna be making it and putting it into the game, into the visual novel, and see how that works and how it turns out to be. But first, I need to save this before anything else. So I'm gonna be calling this the Rufina redesign. I'm gonna call it that because it is that. Exactly that. And then I need to go bleh. Then that way, then that way. And then I'm gonna be going that way. And that shouldn't be that. Alright. So I finished the redesign saving, so that's good. And yeah, we're gonna get the coloring done. We're gonna get all the lighting done as well. And then we're gonna see where that ends. Alright. No, I will not save that. So yeah. I hope you'll have enjoyed for now. And thanks all for watching. And I will see you next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day. And bye! Let's see where it is. There.